Have you ever felt that pressure to just be agreeable? Even when it goes against your gut? In a world that pretty much runs on likes and approval, it's so easy to confuse being nice with being genuinely good. So today, we're going to unpack that crucial difference. And trust me, it's a distinction that can fundamentally change how you see yourself and the choices you make every single day.
So let's just dive right in with the big question. Is being nice really the same thing as being good? I mean, we're all taught to be polite, to be agreeable, right? But what happens when that social pressure, that need to be liked, clashes with what we truly believe is the right thing to do? That right there is the core question we're exploring.
And here's the heart of the problem. Our society often rewards the appearance of goodness, what we're calling niceness. But this focus on getting that external validation, that pat on the back, it can come at a real cost. It can actually stop us from building a character that's truly aligned with our deepest values.
So, to navigate all this, we first need to get the lay of the land. In this next section, we're going to clearly define the fundamental difference between being nice and being good. Think of this as the moment we finally calibrate your inner compass so it points true north. Okay, first up, let's talk about goodness. This isn't about putting on a show. It's about your internal foundation. It's about acting from a moral compass that's guided by solid principles like fairness and honesty. And you want another real test? Goodness is what you do when you're pretty sure no one is watching. Now let's look at its cousin, niceness. This is way more of an external performance. It's behavior that's socially pleasing, sure, it's agreeable, but its main driver, it's the desire to be liked or to avoid a fight. And that's why it's so conditional. It can totally change depending on the audience, right? This table really just lays it all out. See? Goodness comes from your inner compass. Niceness comes from wanting external approval. The goal of goodness is integrity, being whole. The goal of niceness is, well, to be liked. You can see how one is about building real character, while the other is more about managing how people see you. So why do we get these two so mixed up? Well, it often starts really early, when we're kids. Our social systems, from school to the office, they tend to reward niceness because it just keeps things running smoothly. Politeness is easy to manage. Genuine goodness, on the other hand, sometimes it can be disruptive. It might even challenge the way things are. All right, enough with the theory. Let's see how this actually plays out in the real world, shall we? We're going to walk through 4 super common scenarios that really put this nice versus good dilemma to the test. First up, the sweet spot. This is when our inner values line up perfectly with what society expects. Doing the right thing also happens to be the popular thing. These are those awesome moments that just feel effortless. So, picture this. A kid sees a new student sitting all alone and just goes over and invites them to play. It's a truly kind act, and of course, everyone around praises them for it. In this case, good and nice are exactly the same thing. We should totally celebrate these moments. They show us that harmony is possible. But what about when things get a little more complicated? This is the scenario where doing the right thing might actually make you unpopular. It creates this big external conflict. Okay, think about a child who refuses to join in when their friends start teasing another classmate. For doing the right thing, they might get excluded, told they're spoiling the fun. This is where we see the real cost of choosing goodness. It can be lonely, and it takes some serious courage to pick your values over fitting in. And now for the flip side, when we act nice but it feels totally wrong on the inside. This one creates a deep internal conflict between what we do and what we believe. Have you ever agreed to something that just made your stomach turn, all to keep the peace? That feeling of inner conflict. That is your moral compass practically screaming at you that you've gone off course. This really shows why setting boundaries is so important. It's a crucial act of self-respect that isn't always nice. Finally, there's the scenario of inaction. This is when we're just paralyzed by fear or confusion and we end up doing, well, nothing at all. For example, seeing someone get bullied and just doing nothing. It's so easy to feel ashamed about this, but a much more productive way to look at it is with curiosity. What made you freeze? What was the fear? Understanding the why behind our inaction is the first real step toward building the courage to act differently next time. So, we've looked at the problem, we've gone through the tough scenarios. Now for the good part. Let's get practical. This next section is your toolkit, real, actionable strategies you can use to build integrity and strengthen that inner compass. Let's start with a surprisingly powerful tool, regret.
I know, we usually try to avoid it, right? But what if we saw it not as a failure, but as a signal from our conscience? It's actually proof that we care, and it's a direct invitation to change and to grow.
This four-step process shows us exactly how to turn that regret into repair. Step 1. Acknowledge the impact, and I mean really acknowledge it, no excuses. Step 2. Offer a sincere apology, one that's heartfelt, not forced. Step 3 is to take corrective action. Do something to make it right. And finally, the most important step of all, choose differently. Own that shift and act on your values next time.
Okay, here's a simple but incredibly powerful question to keep in your back pocket. Before you act, just ask yourself, would I still do this if no one ever knew? Your honest answer is going to reveal everything about your true motivation. Is it your values or is it for show? And here's another one. Just pause for a second and ask, is this action coming from a place of fear? Fear of being disliked, fear of conflict? Or is it coming from a place of care? Care for yourself, for others, for what's right? This one really helps you get to the emotional heart of your choice. So where does all this lead? What's the ultimate goal here? It's to cultivate what the source material so beautifully calls quietly brave hearts, in ourselves and maybe in the people we influence too. This isn't just about making better choices. It's about building a whole life of integrity and purpose. I really want to leave you with this incredibly empowering idea. You are not your past behavior. You are not your mistakes. Every single moment gives you a new choice, giving you the power to decide who you are becoming starting right now. So as you move through your day today, you're going to face 100 tiny choices. And each one is an opportunity to ask yourself, am I choosing the comfort of being liked or the integrity of being good? The answer you give will shape not just your day, but the person you are becoming. The choice, as always, is yours.